Hi, this is Marcel of Marcel on Tech, and today we are talking about one of the best flagship phones out at the moment. This is the Google Pixel 8 Pro phone. You need to know whether or not this is something you want to get hold of and my reasons why you should seriously consider it. Let's get into it. Okay, so this is the Pixel 8 Pro, and just to let you know, massive thank you to all of those who have subscribed. Please do consider subscribing as well. It's making a huge difference. This channel is growing. I've got a lot more content that I want to bring to you, and I need your help to do that. Of course, if you really enjoy what you're seeing, like and subscribe, and if you've got any comments, I'd really appreciate it as well. Your feedback basically makes me and these videos better, so would really appreciate that if you could. Okay, now let's get into it. This is the Google Pixel 8 Pro, and I have to say, straight off the bat, this is the best Google Pixel phone that they've ever made, and I really, really like it. I was a fan of the Pixel 7 Pro. I did like it, but this is better. Now, obviously, you usually hope with every incremental growth that they do get better. And some companies produce phones literally every couple of months or so. We're talking about Xiaomi, etc. But Google don't do that. They release one or two a year with the 7, with the number and then the A, and then that's it. That's all they do. So they're really focusing on trying to fine tune it. Now, this is obviously the 8th iteration, and it is the Pro version because, of course, there is, of course, the 8, the regular 8 as well, which doesn't have that much of a difference, really. Now, the differences we can discuss in another video if we want to, but I'm talking about the Pro, and what I wanted to talk about, first of all, was the design. I have to say, I have been really impressed with the way that this has been refined and defined really, really nicely. Now, to look at this, aside from the baby blue, which is really nice, the marine blue that they've got, and it's a frosted back, not a shiny back, which means fingerprints, not a problem. Really nice touch with the subtle G on the back there as well. Everything else, you've got the markings here for the European Union, but you can't really see them, and I love that. That's really, really nice. What makes this, for me, a really nice industrial design is previously the camera bar there, which was a bit like a visor, was very ugly. It wasn't symmetrical, but for me, this is now symmetrical. And it just looks really, really good. And I love the way it sinks into the rim of the phone, which of course is the aluminium running all the way around the side there as well. So if we take a tour around it, we can see on the top here, we've got the 5G antenna. And then we work our way around to the right side and we've got the SIM card tray. Underneath, of course, we've got 2 speaker grills and we've got USB Type-C. And then on the other side, we have very nice color matched power button and volume rocker as well. Very, very much protruding so that you can feel them, but not excessive in any way. And the feel of the button push is solid and smooth and not at all cheap feeling at all. Really, really like it. And then, of course, we come to the camera bump, and the camera bump is really quite impressive in the sense that you've got all these 3 cameras, which of course we will talk about more, but you've got the ultra wide, the telephoto, and the main lens. And then you've got the thermostat. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about that thermostat later in the video. And then of course you've got a flash as well. I just love that solid brick. It is substantial. It's a substantial protrusion out the back of the phone. But when you put it down, because it's symmetrical and well balanced, it doesn't wobble about whatsoever. It just sits flush and you can use it on there. And in fact, it's even slightly elevated at an angle, which makes it more usable as well. Then, of course, coming to the front, you do have a flat screen. Now, I know that flat screens are kind of more popular now, I think. I think manufacturers are coming around to the idea that a flat screen is just more practical because it prevents accidental touches. I still love the waterfall edge screen, as they used to call it, particularly on the Samsung. But I understand, I get it. I get the purpose, the practicality, the ease of use, and much less likely that you're going to accidentally touch the screen with your palm or anything like that. And really, you get used to the fact that it is a flat screen and not spilling over the edge, which you can live with. So the screen, the panel, absolutely brilliant. Vibrant colors, really bright. Because I live in a very bright country, I live in Spain, it gets super duper bright outside, and this thing can go over 2000 nits on auto, which basically means very bright. And it means you won't have any problem seeing this in broad daylight with sunlight blasting straight onto that panel. So that is an enormous strength and definitely something that identifies this as a quality device. Okay, next, let's talk about the software. So of course, it's a Google device. It's running vanilla Android. It is going to run from the moment you open the box, vanilla 14. Sorry, it's going to run Android 14, which of course is the latest and greatest version, and it will receive the updates for 7 years. That's 7 years. That's the longest of any phone manufacturer in the world, which kind of makes sense because they are the producers of Android and this phone. But 7 years is a really long time, which basically means that you'll get support for this both on the OS, the operating system, and security updates as well. So that's really impressive. That's a genuine commitment to this phone, which makes it something of an investment over a longer period of time. Basically, if you have a phone that is planned to be obsolete within 3 or 4 years, that makes it a less good investment, right? Especially if you're paying upwards of €1,000, which you will be if you're going to go for this device. Maybe not if you get it secondhand, but the same rule applies in terms of the OS support. Now, in terms of the operating system, there's so much here to unpack. That would be another video. So if you're interested in that, put a comment below. But otherwise, you are going to get everything functioning on this lightning fast, really, really, really well. I've found that I really enjoy, I think Android has really defined itself very, very well. There are probably my two favorite operating systems from Android are going to be the Google Pixel phones, and it's going to be the Samsung One UI as well. They're both very different because Samsung has a lot of their own tweaks and software manipulations. And of course, this is the standard Android version as Google wants it to be. So there are many things about this that I really, really like. And the software is quick, snappy, and fully functional. Now, moving on to the cameras. Okay, on the rear side, we have got 3 cameras. One main camera, which is a 50 megapixel. Then you've got the telephoto, which is a 48 megapixel. Then you've got another 48 megapixel ultra wide angle as well. So we know now that resolutions or megapixels aren't the be-all and end-all. And because this device and Pixels in general have generally had some of the best photo processing of all the phones available, then that's going to be enough resolution and you're going to get excellent quality photos. And I have loved using the camera on this phone because it has been absolutely brilliant. Not to forget, of course, you do have a forward-facing camera, which is 10.5, which might sound very little, but it has not faltered in any way when taking a selfie or recording a video of myself. And one of the things that I've been very impressed with, and this is where it competes with iPhone, is the stabilization. The stabilization on the front and the back on other Androids has always been a problem. I don't understand why they've always struggled to either crop in and just keep the video very, very stable, or just have a software system that works really, really well. iPhone has always been really good with video and still somewhat of the market leader with video recording on mobile devices, but this is catching up. Finally, Google in their 8th iteration has now found their way right up to competing and being able to produce on the phone really good quality video. Now, we're not even talking about the video boost yet because there is a video boost system that once you upload this to your Google Photos, you're actually going to be able to manipulate your videos even more by boosting colors, saturation, more stability if you're on a very uneven surface, etc. So there's going to be even more. It's not available yet, so I haven't been able to test it out, but it's going to be very interesting when that does come out. But what you're able to produce on the phone itself right now, very few people are going to have any complaints about. So video quality has been really good. The ultra wide is very good. Even the zoom, I was taking some night shots on 10x zoom of the moon. And when you look at it on the viewfinder here, it looks very grainy and pixelated. It'll take about 5 seconds. But when it does its processing, it is fantastic. And when we go into the camera tech on this, then we start to talk about things like the AI and the AI integration, this is really, really impressive. The AI has allowed the phone to manipulate your photos in various ways, including best shot. Now, best shot in a nutshell, because there's quite a lot to go into, is basically where the phone will take multiple photos. And you know there's always a photo where one person's got their eyes closed, that's usually my mother, or one person is not smiling, etc. It will take multiple photos and it will allow you to then replace the person's head with the one from another photo onto the photo that you want to keep. Super clever stuff. Is going in the way of photo manipulation for the average user. So it's definitely going to be difficult to tell what's reality and what's not, but that's just the tip of the iceberg in terms of the AI integration. There is also an AI wallpaper, which I'm going to come back to, which is basically they have mastered the game of wallpapers on this device. It is absolutely awesome. If I show you that wallpaper there, that is a one-of-a-kind, unique wallpaper made by the AI based on a description that I gave it in order to generate it. The wallpapers are an entire video of their own, which I can do. So again, let me know if that's something you're interested in seeing. That is a super, super cool image that was created by the AI built into this. And it's very easy to use as well. What I like, what they've been clever about, is guiding you through how to create it. It's not super duper complicated. If you want to play with it, it's very, very easy to do. So the wallpapers are fantastic. On that beautiful QHD screen, it is absolutely awesome and it looks amazing. And that's just an example of an X-ray of a chrysanthemum, I believe, or a lily, I'm not sure which one. But anyway, really, really stunning stuff. Coming back to the cameras, you're gonna have excellent quality video. Night quality is still a little bit of a challenge, but there are lots of things that it does post recording in order to be as effective and as good as it can possibly be. So I was very impressed with this so far. Okay, let's talk about usability. Okay, so one of my other favorite things about this phone is comfort in the hand. They've finally sorted out the design. It's a little boxy, but not so boxy that it has sharp edges, which of course the iPhone 14 was famous for. It was very, very boxy and before, and even had sharp edges that kind of dug into your hand when you were holding it. This has got a fantastic balance of a flat edge on the front here, but then nice round edges all the way around. And I love holding it. I really do. From the matte back, which is non-fingerprinty, it's very, very smooth to hold and very, very comfortable as well. When you've got it to your ear, it's got a good amount of weight, but it's not excessive. So it feels solid, it feels quality, but it's not too heavy. I don't like phones that are really, really heavy because then when you've got them in your trousers, etc., you can literally feel it weighing down on your trousers, which is a bit unnecessary and a bit annoying. Obviously, because it's got metal rails, it's a little bit slippery, but for the average user, unless you've got very smooth hands, it's going to be great. You're probably going to want to slap a case on it, which I did from the very beginning because I'm always going to want to protect my phones. But it doesn't feel super duper fragile. And obviously, if you drop it, you're probably going to scratch it. One of the issues that they had in the past was that this camera bump here would get very easily scratched. And I think that's still an issue. I, on the other hand, have been able to protect it really well. So I'm very pleased that I haven't created any scratches there. So other than that, as long as you put a case on it, you can get it out every now and then like I do, just to admire its design build. Usability in terms of the speakers, I very much consume a lot of content on YouTube, sometimes watching a few things from Netflix on here, and the speakers are very adequate. You've of course got one on the top and you've got two on the bottom here, projecting sound straight towards your face. It only bothers me slightly in terms of the positioning of the volume rockers because of my car holder. The grabber is right on the volume rocker, so it nearly always puts the volume down whenever I've got it in my car. Other than that, it's very, very reachable, so the positioning is actually quite good. In terms of the volume of the phone, it is good. It's not the loudest by far, but there is some bass to it, which makes it really nice because iPhone, again, tends to be the type of phone that has good quality and depth of sound, good volume, surprising amounts of bass, and this can match it. It does depend what you're listening to, but this can match that quality as well. So I've been very, very pleased with that. So in terms of usability, it's been great. In finale, for usability, the battery life, it definitely gets me through a whole day. Now, It does have wireless charging, and as you know, if you've been watching before, I do like to have a wireless charger next to my desk, so I will plonk it down and let it do charging over that way. The wireless charging also happens in my car as well, but plugging in is fast. If you've got a fast connection, you can charge this up in 45 minutes to an hour, to 90%, and that will get you through your whole day. So I've been very, very pleased with that. And I haven't had any problems, even to the extent where sometimes I'll get to the end of the day, I've got 30% left. I don't want to charge it overnight, so I wait until the morning, plug it in for a bit while I'm getting ready for work, and then by the time I'm ready to go, it's fully charged. So that I really like. I like that plug in, quick, boost, out the door in 30 minutes, and you're going to get a full day out of it. So this is not currently, new phone, not currently going to give you any problems, even if you're a heavy user like I am. Now, I'm not a massive gamer. My son is, but I'm not a massive gamer. I have played a couple of games on this. Genshin, for example. It did heat up a little bit, and I know that there have been some heating issues, and that leads me towards some of our cons. But I haven't had a problem where it's heated up to the point where I want to put it down. It's never got so hot that it's been uncomfortable, but I have noticed, oh, okay, that's heating up, and it's done that. When I've been formatting or creating any video content, I use CapCut on this device, and if I've done that and it's particularly intensive, maybe 3-4 gigs, it will start to warm up. Once it's completed the process, it then cools down very, very quickly. So it's not a problem. I know there have been a lot of reviews about heating being an issue, and historically it was, but with the Tensor G3, I haven't found any problem. I haven't found anything that makes this device struggle yet. Other cons, and the one that I think is probably the biggest one actually, is the thermostat. So this thermo reader on the back here, I don't see the point of it. I've tested it on different things. You get a different readout every time you do it. It tells you not to do it on skin or your face, or at least it says it's not reliable. But I believe that they created it they actually integrated it during discussions during COVID so that it could be used as a self-measuring thermometer. But that's expired now and no longer relevant, or indeed no longer useful. So it was a gimmick, didn't find any use for it, didn't find it accurate or useful. So I don't know why it's there, but it is there. So should you ever need to want to use it, I can't tell you how reliable it's going to be, but it's there. So that's probably the biggest con of this device, which is doable because it's just an additional part that you can ignore and not even ever use. So in conclusion, should you get this phone? If you've got the budget for it, or you can buy it through your company, or you're going to go on contract, yes, you will not be disappointed. This is an excellent phone, and finally something that can compete with the best of the flagship Samsungs, the flagship iPhones, even the flagship Xiaomi's as well. They're right up there as a sandwich phone. No, not a sandwich phone. As a candy bar phone, it is going to be one of the very best that you can get. And with the amount of support that you can get with this device, you're going to be able to look after this device for a very long time and get all the operating systems for a very long time. So it really is a good investment. You've got the amazing features to come that still haven't come, and whatever's on there right now in terms of the AI integration really just adds even more value and support to it as well. So I've been really, really impressed. I think if you can get hold of one for a good price, you will not be disappointed. This definitely competes with the likes of the iPhones and the top tier Samsungs as well. So I will put links in my description below if you want to use one. If you do get one of those, that helps out the channel massively. Keep your eyes peeled. Don't forget to like and subscribe for my upcoming videos, because I've got some more very interesting, slightly different videos coming up. And I really, really hope you enjoyed this one. If you've got any comments, please put them down below. I'd love to read them. I do respond to all the comments whenever I can. And otherwise, I'll see you very, very soon in my next video. Bye-bye for now.